And this is something we actually go very in detailed in the Academy, but, we wanted to at least put it out here so that people can start thinking about that. And of course, you can go to the site and look at the blog post that I wrote about goal setting is a waste of time, but it talks about setting up your definite major purpose.
So that's number one, is it all starts with the refining and reviewing your definite major purpose and your fulfillment factors, because everything else should point to those things, and you got to make sure that's all congruous. All right, number two is to review and refine your organization chart. So now we're obviously getting a little more into the internet business aspects, because that's, we're framing this all within, this is after all internet business mastery, but this is in a way, this is the whole framework for your business. This is where it all starts with your business, and we've talked about organization charts in the past. I believe I've done a video on the site about it, and this is, even if you're the solopreneur, the solo person at home, an entrepreneur, you're running the whole business, you're wearing all the hats, you need to know what are all those hats that you should be wearing right now in order to, maintain the standards within your business that you need to, and move things forward and achieve the goals and definite major purpose that you have for yourself. And so everything we do, our weekly GTD, with getting things done, our weekly review of our goals or our next actions, deciding what projects to work on, deciding what Sterling's going to do, what am I going to do, what are the most important tasks right now, it all is framed around that organization chart. After I went through my definite major purpose, we opened up this organization chart to review, okay, what are our different responsibilities within the business? Is there anywhere that's being neglected? What are the most important ones right now? And it all pointed back to that organization chart. So, you should be making that up. And again, you might be the one that's filling all of those roles. Maybe at some point you'll hire an employee or a VA or somebody, but right now maybe you are the marketer and the product manager and the content producer and the affiliate JV manager, all these different things that might be within your business. So that's extremely important. And we have some other material you can find on the website. We've talked a little bit about that, and we go very specifically into it. And we've got whole segments and examples of how we put that together inside of the Academy as well. But it all starts with that organization chart when it comes to your business. So number two is review and refine your organization chart. Right. Number three, again, because we're talking about business here and internet business, is to set income goals. So, whether you're just getting started and, this is day one of trying to build your business, or whether you've already got a couple products in the bag and are moving forward, there's that next level of what do you want to reach. Maybe it's the goal to have that extra $1,000 a month so that you can go on a nice vacation. Maybe it's that goal to have an extra, to replace your current income with your internet business. Maybe it's the goal to be able to upgrade to a new house or whatever, and this may all go back to your definite major purpose and your lifestyle design of what you want your life to look like, but you want to set income goals that are obviously going to match that. For instance, recently Melanie and I realized, we've enjoyed all this traveling. We've enjoyed Portland's a city we've always wanted to live in, and we're enjoying it right now. But we're also thinking very seriously about going back to New York City because it does fit so many things that we enjoy ideally in our lifestyle. So, but we want to be able to upgrade our lifestyle next time we go back, and so what do we need to do with our income in order to make that happen, and to move to that to that next level in the lifestyle design that we have. And so the decision to move to New York was based on each of the definite major purposes that Melanie and I both have, the things we want to have in life when it comes to family and our professions and the things we want to accomplish, and the diversity we enjoy having around us. It's a big city like New York that supplies that. So that decision was based on the definite major purpose. And so now that is trickling down to income goals. Okay, well, what kind of income do we need to make in order to be able to go back to New York and live the kind of lifestyle we want to have in New York? And, so that's why it's the next step down is to set those income goals. And, we have a whole spreadsheet that we've put together for Internet Business Mastery. We decided how much we want to be making halfway through the year and how many, memberships we have to have in the Academy and different things like that. And, I've done that for my podcasting business stuff as well. And, that stuff's in front of me. It's in a spreadsheet. We've made plans. We've been able to tweak variables and see it, visually in front of us and regularly review that as well. Now, if this is some other area of your life, maybe it's, obviously the specific numbers that you want to reach for weight loss, or the specific numbers you want to reach in the number of people that you, I don't know, teach how to read, if that's one in your definite purpose is to, reduce illiteracy in the world, whatever it may be, so that's where these specific numbers start coming in. So set specific goals. And in the case of internet business, we're talking about set specific income goals. All right. Number 4 is backwards plan these goals. So, you've set that income goal that reaches a certain lifestyle design. And so now you work backwards. You've got a destination. So, if I want to go on a road trip, I go to Google Maps and I type in the destination and I'm looking at what highways I have to take and where I'm going to, fill up on gas, or, do I need to stay a night here or there? I may call a friend and say, hey, you've been to such and such city. Can you tell me where I need to go? This is something we applied very much back when I was in a band and we knew what we wanted to achieve with our band. And so we talked to other bands who achieved those things and said, look, you've been where we want to go. Tell us how. And we could then see the steps and start working backwards. Well, before, what is it going to look like when I reach that goal? Okay, what is it going to look like one step before that? Okay, now what does that look one step before that? Now, I know you have a whole process for this, Sterling. Maybe you can enlighten more and expand on that even more of the backwards planning process. I know you have a blog post you're going to be putting together about that.
Yeah, I'm going to do a video showing how I do it with mind maps. But I mean, you gave a great example. I basically, let's say, you've got this very specific goal and that's the end point. And then I basically go, okay, what happened right before I got the goal? And I'm just, figuring out kind of a reverse engineering of what needs to happen to get that goal. So let's just say there are 10 steps to achieve a specific goal. Now it's going to be obviously much more and different for every single goal, but just for this example, 10 steps. And so the end goal, I step one thing back to step 9 and go, what's going to happen right before I achieve the goal? And I write that down. And then I say, what's going to happen right before I, do step 9? And I go all the way back to where I have step 1, which is what am I going to do next? And this is a huge thing for me because, again, I'd put out these goals for so many years. It's like, I want to make $5 million. Well, it's like, how do you ever possibly think you're going to achieve that if you don't know what the first step is? Well, what's the first step to making $5 million? Like, what is it? That's like a crazy thing to go, I have no clue, and if you backwards plan this, you can, keep coming back to where you're like, well, maybe the first group of steps in that goal is to create your own internet business, right? And then after you get that business going, then there's steps within that business that are going to get you closer to, let's say, $5 million. And then there's going to be real estate holdings. And, that would be a humongous goal. And, to just say that without knowing what's going to be your first step and be able to backwards plan is what made it so that I wasn't achieving most of my goals throughout, let's say, my entire 20s. I was making just crazy, crazy goals. And some things I did get, but, it wasn't because I made it easy on myself. Like, this certainly makes it much easier to be able to backwards plan and figure out right now, get all the way down to knowing what that first step is. And even if you aren't sure some of the steps, at least if you can get back to what is the thing I need to do today or this week to move forward on this goal, that's going to help you much more than just having a goal. Just, I want $5 million. So that's kind of, and again, I'm going to make a video and I'm going to put it on the, blog at internetbusinessmastery.com that will show you how I do it within mind maps.
Well, and so, for us in Internet Business Mastery, we set income goals that we want to reach by, halfway through the year and then by the end of the year. And so we looked at, okay, well, what's the vehicle we're going to reach? If I'm going to drive to, Florida for a road trip or something, I got to decide, okay, how am I getting there? Is it going to be by train, by car, or whatever? And so for us, we're like, okay, the vehicle that's going to get there is mostly going to be, our Academy memberships. And so then we can set numbers for that. And then like, okay, well, to reach that number, and we can work backwards and go, okay, we've got JV launches, we've got, these different traffic things, and we start, setting monthly milestones and working backwards. And then, we can see all those numbers stack up in the spreadsheet we put together. And, same thing for this goal for reaching, going to New York City. Well, we can think, okay, well, right before that, we're going to have to be making, maybe have paid this thing off and have bought this and, have X amount of money put away. Okay. And then we work back from there. And it always helps if you can visualize that thing in the future. Maybe that's why it's hard. I mean, there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, I want to make $5 million someday.